Hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa. Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose to be your personal advocate to laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Payne.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, CNBC News, and NBC Sports, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Tiki Live, Amazon Music, GeoSound, Podchaser, and Rumble. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. So I have topics and guests and special series to that end. If you missed my show with the Waltons, you can get that on my YouTube channel. Free subscribe there. And you will be tuned into my daily morning show here where Asian Oprah has you focus on your own reality show. So there's no gossip, no scandal, no K words, no Kanye talk, no Kardashian talk, but just talk about you and how we can make this world a better place. And I'm so delighted that this morning I have none other than the daughter of Lucille Ball, Desi Arnaz. Lucie Arnaz, she is an entertainer and an advocate and supporter of the Doors of Change. And I have the founder as well of Doors of Change. You will remember him from coming here, I guess a year ago, Jeffrey Sitcov. And we're going to have some fun. I'm going to give you a fuller introduction after we do our gratitude exercise. And Jeffrey, I'm hoping that you remember this. Lucie was kind enough to say, I will participate. And it's a breakfast, having breakfast with us, taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So the top of the bun is 8 specific gratitudes. What are we grateful for outside of ourselves? And then on the bottom of the bun, it's what are 8 things that we appreciate about ourselves. So collectively, we'll get 2 each. I'll start. I am grateful for the fact that we're getting rain in California. As much as I'm not crazy about rain, it is good for us. And I'm glad that it is raining outside right now. What are you grateful for? Let's go to Lucie.
Do I have to come up with 8 or is that just one?
Just one. Collectively 8.
It's sort of hard to only just come up with one, almost as hard as trying to come up with the perfect 8. But, I am grateful that I have a beautiful family that keeps me going every single day, fresh in my mind and seeing the planet in different ways. And they keep me understanding what I need to be putting my energies toward. And that keeps me young and involved.
Fantastic. Jeffrey, your turn.
I'm so grateful for my health, the health of my wife and my loved ones. You never so blessed to have our loved ones that have our
Lucie, you want to tell him?
Jeffrey, we can't hear you. It's just breaking up like crazy. Couldn't understand anything past health and wife. And then it went.
Yes. So we'll continue on as Jeffrey adjusts. And if you could close out any other audio device, maybe there's the computer that's on, or close out the windows, and Lucie and I will finish off the the gratitudes while he does that. I love my life. I'm grateful that we have technology that is incredible when it works, allowing us to broadcast from anywhere in the world, and even when it just doesn't want to cooperate. Sarcasm included is
God.
a service that I offer. Lucie, what are you grateful for?
Humor. I'm grateful for our ability to laugh at stuff like this because you can't get upset. It's just goofy. It's crazy. And to think we've tried to do this interview several times. And every time
I refuse to take it personally. I have not said it just means it's not meant to be because I refuse to believe that.
No, it's meant to be this way.
Yes.
Whatever
Yes.
this is.
Shift happens. I'm grateful that the planets did not crash into each other last night. So we have another day to laugh, to create, to innovate, and appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
You go ahead.
I'm grateful I got a chance to go to Africa. I had a chance to travel way across the other side of the universe and see a whole other culture and be very moved by what I saw and have an opportunity, like what we're doing with Doors of Change, to help all those things you think you can't do. I can't do anything about that. Oh my God, it's so far away. And then you go, yes, I can. Oh, look what I can do. I can do this. It was great.
Wonderful. And Jeffrey, you want to come in with the last gratitude?
I'm so grateful that we can help others have a better life.
Fantastic. Now we're going to go to the bottom of the bun, which is, what do you like about yourself? And the reason why I do this is a lot of us are walking around going, who loves me, who appreciates me, who likes me, literally with the likes now on social media. And that just causes us to go looking for love in all the wrong places. And so I want us to strengthen our muscle on how we approve of ourselves so that criticism and even compliments don't whack us around. So what do you appreciate about yourself? I'll start. I love my ability to just keep on trucking. That's one of my secret sauce skills. Lucie, what do you like about yourself?
Yeah, I was kind of going to say a similar thing. Just I think that what I like best about myself is that I don't take anything too seriously for too long. And I'm kind of my dad always used to say, there must be a way. And I sort of look at life like that. Like when it gets, difficult, I just go, okay, all right, there's got to be a way to fix. There must be a way. And don't lose your cookies over it. So tenacity and patience.
Perfect. Although whenever anyone thanks me for being patient, I look over my shoulder to see who they're talking to. Because that's not in my vocabulary. All right, Jeffrey, what do you appreciate about yourself?
I appreciate about myself that when I put my mind to something, I do not give up until I get that achieved. Especially helping others. That's the most important as far as I'm concerned.
Fantastic. And I'm just going to cut that short. We're going to finish that. The reason I do 8, Lucie, by the way, is 8's a lucky number in Chinese. I know you thought I was Swedish.
I did.
It's a homophone for good fortune.
Okay.
So that's why I do that. Fantastic. Now, let me see, because I just had eye surgery yesterday. Am I still on camera?
Yes, you are.
Perfect. Because I blew the intro up so that I could see it.
Right.
Here we go. Recently, 7 of America's most recognized TV moms gathered, including Mary and Ross, who I've been so fortunate to have on my show from Happy Days, Jane from Malcolm in the Middle, Kaz Marak, Karen Grasfi from Little House on the Prairie, June Lockhart, Lassie, Lost in Space, Eileen Graff, Mr. Belvedere, and Dee Wallace, who's also been on my show, the new Lassie, and most recently, Michael Learned was also on my show from the Waltons. And they came together to support the Doors of Change to help the homeless youth in America. Previously, an impressive roster of celebrated performers, including Elton John, Billy Joel, the Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen, Carlos Santana, Tony Bennett, and Three Dog Night either participated in the performance or sent their signed keyboards or guitars. And I got to be part of that. And hold on one second. Jeffrey, your mic is still spitting a bit, so let me turn you for a second. But all of the, and I got to go see Three Dog Night, and it was an amazing time getting to watch them and all the money we raised there. And I'm so proud that I continue to be a massive supporter, and that's why these two incredible beings are on the show with me again today. Now, Doors of Change is thrilled to add a woman with a truly undisputed Hollywood legacy, Lucie Arnaz, who you see on camera now, to the family of advocates for homeless youth. She's the daughter of Hollywood's most influential and beloved parents. Lucie herself has made her own mark in both Broadway. They're playing our song, Dirty Rotten Scoundrel, Witches of Eastwick. Oh, I didn't know about that one. As well as TV, the Lucie Arnaz Show, Sons and Daughters. Here's Lucie, in addition to performances at the Academy Awards and at the White House and so much more. Today, she's speaking out on behalf of those whose voices are not being heard, homeless youth across the country. She's chosen to do so with the Doors of Change, which has not only proven their success with youth in San Diego, but helped member and create outreaches in Chicago, Buffalo, DC, among others. There is so much out there in the world that needs attention that can be overwhelming. I'm starting in my own backyard and hoping for a ripple effect. Think globally, but act locally, says Lucie Arnaz. And what better place to start than with our own youth? So first of all, please welcome to my studio, Lucie Arnaz. And now I'm going to introduce the man that you actually have seen before. His name is Jeffrey Sitcov. He's the president and founder of Doors of Change, also known as Photo Charity. In the past, for over 20 years, Jeffrey's been leading an amazing group of committed volunteers to help homeless youth ages 17 to 25 get off the streets of San Diego, and now in 13 different states. Over this time, the group has helped place over 2,300 homeless youth, and I know that number is way up, and we'll talk about that, into long-term safe housing, and developed an award-winning music and arts program in Ocean Beach. Has benefited more than 8,300 homeless youth. Elton John and all those other people that I just mentioned have been phenomenally involved. He's received awards locally and nationally, including the San Diego Channel 10 Leadership Award, Torrey Pines Bank Circle of Excellence Award, La Mesa Rotary Peacemaker of the Year Award, and the Jewish Family Services Volunteer of the Year Award. He was also a semifinalist in the National Volvo for Life Award. Please welcome to my studio back again, Jeffrey Sitcov. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of affirmation. And that is, I'm so delighted to have you both. And we're going to keep our fingers crossed that this is going to go. This is how much I've wanted you on my show, Lucie and Jeffrey, is we've tried and it's happening. And I'm so grateful. So first of all, tell me why this is such an important thing for you, Lucie, because you could be really supporting so many other things. You mentioned backyard, but what about this particular program tugged at your heartstrings?
You know, I mean, I think just the fact that it's about youth, and I'm particularly, sensitive, I guess, to the plight of young people when I realized that a lot of them didn't get to choose their circumstances, and whether they come from homes with drug addicted parents, abuse, or they're found out that they're gay, and their parents go, get out. It's just children. It's a very moving thing. I don't know. I had a pretty good growing up period, but I do understand not having parents around and what happens when that happens. My parents were great, but they were busy all the time, so they weren't there a lot. And I have children of my own. I have 5 kids, 3 of my own and 2 stepchildren. And at various times of their growing up period, they're all adults now, but they went through stuff, and some of them had to be on the street. in order to figure out what life was really going to be for them. And I got a chance to experience what that was like by, real circumstances that were very close to home. So I can only imagine every time I see some young kid that's floundering and has nowhere to go, it just breaks my heart. I didn't think I could do anything about it. It's a huge, huge problem, as you know, and it's global. It's not just local here where we are. But tell the universe what you want and be specific. If you even just put it out there a little bit in your mind, like, God, I wish I could help. You sort of just say it. You mean it, but you don't do much about it. Funny how things happen after that. Like our mutual friend, Harlan Bowl, who's a public relations person and has been pro bono helping Doors of Change for a while, called me and said, would you be interested at all in, getting together with Jeffrey Sitcov? And he runs this great organization, and it's homeless youth in the San Diego, Southern California area. And I thought, wow, that's incredible, because wasn't I just sort of talking about that? And so, as the song says, when opportunity comes your way, say yes. And I said yes. I said, I don't know what I can do. I'm not a philanthropist. We don't own I Love Lucy. Let's just start with that. And I've been a theater person on a theater person's salary most of my life, or doing concerts. And that's what I do for a living. So my donations monetarily would not make a huge, big difference, but maybe my notoriety might. And if I can use it that way, that's a good way to use it. So here I am.
Fantastic. And I'm so grateful that you are. And I love the fact that you want to help in the way you can. I am a little surprised that you don't own that.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that. But
most people are surprised. They think I'm a very wealthy person, but I would own Viacom by now. No, my father and mother sold it back to CBS in 1957, like before they even finished the show, in order to make enough money to buy a studio so they could get their company, Desi Productions, bigger. And they bought RKO Studios at that time. And they did. They became the largest television producing company in the country, in the world. And but so they no longer, after that, they didn't own anything that has to do with I Love Lucy. They retained my mother's image in the show. So we own the image and likenesses of her as Lucy Ricardo and a portion of him as Ricky. But that's only for like merchandise and stuff. But yeah, we don't own the show. And a lot of people think that I do and that I've had a silver spoon in my mouth since birth. But no, it's true. I make my living just like everybody else.
And you do it well. You were sold out just recently.
I love what I do, and I chose to go into the theater mostly. I've done a few movies and a few television series, but mostly my life has been theater or concerts in the last 30 years. It's been a lot of concerts. And it's not the kind of thing that is nationally broadcast, nationally written about. And yet I work all the time. So a lot of people don't know what I do, because if I haven't come to their town, they haven't read about it, they don't know what I'm doing. And it's interesting. I make CDs and make music, and I just love what I do. So that's why when you said, what do you want underneath your name? And I said, entertainer, because basically whatever it is, if I'm singing, I'm dancing, I'm acting, it's all entertaining, isn't it?
Right. Well, you've got two trees that you didn't fall far from.
It didn't hurt. I got a lot of good people to watch and to be inspired by. Plus, they loved what they did so much that they did it all the time, which is why they weren't home a lot, But they loved it, and they brought joy to other people. And I always tell my kids, if you pick something to do with your life that makes other people happy, then that's good. Then you got it made, because you get up every morning and be glad for what you're going to go out and do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got 3 people in a row here that are fortunate to feel that way.
Yeah.
And my wish is that everybody does, definitely for that. Yeah. So great, Jeffrey. Remind people in a short summary of how you got involved, because I asked him in our first interview, did you know you were going to do this when you grew up or when you were young? Was this something that was on your bathtub list, which is bigger than a bucket list?
Well, I specialize in making lemonade out of lemon, and I was a physical therapist for many years. I had a spinal cord injury. Decided, what was I going to do to my next chapter? I'm not just going to sit in the house, what I was going to do. And it just got back to saying helping youth, because youth today are in trouble. The energy is bad in youth right now. I'm a healer, being a physical therapist for 18 years, and I sense the energy in them. And you saw the Columbine shooting, the Santee shooting, all the escalation of violence. I just said there's got to be a different way for these youth, to have a better life. And so that's how I got into at least looking at what I was going to do to help youth. I had no idea about homeless youth, but I went on outreach one night to see how they actually meet homeless youth, how they affect them as far as helping them. And that one experience, it blew my mind. And that was over 21 years ago now. And I've been doing this ever since. I made a commitment that evening on the beach and Pacific Beach. These are the youth I have to help. And so we've helped a lot of youth, thank God. We've helped about 15,000 homeless youth over 21 years get services and supplies, et cetera, resources. But we're most proud because we helped over 2,600 now get safe housing.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Now, I know that things have changed a little because of COVID. Do you want to give us a little update on that?
Sure. COVID changed everything. It shut down our award-winning music and art program we had for 18 years. And we said, okay, we have to help the youth. How are we going to do it? And so we just kept, thinking outside the box. And we came up with what's called the Homeless Youth Advocacy Program, where we're advocates for these youth. We really are, because they don't have active parents. They're so dysfunctional. They have no parents, basically. And so we started doubling the amount of outreach that went on the street to 4 days a week to looking for homeless youth. The thing is now, since COVID, they've changed tremendously, because you used to be able to see youth all the time out in groups of people, groups of youth. Now you don't see them at all. They're hidden. They're afraid about the pandemic, because if they get the virus, they could die. They have a very bad immune system, compromised. And so, they're very freaked out about the pandemic. And so we said, okay, we still got to get a hold of these youth. So we started putting up posters everywhere about what we do, what we can offer them, thousands of posters throughout the city. And the result has been absolutely unbelievable. In the last 3 years, we have doubled in most of our services amount of youth that we've helped, including housing. So we went from 161 youth 2 years ago, which was a record. This year, 349 youth we found housing for, 188 more than the year before. So
Hold on, I had to give the applause. That's unforking believable. You doubled. COVID usually brings things down. I don't know how you did that. Well, I kind of know how that happened. If you can tell, Jeffrey's not a person that just gives up. And the ability for him to have all the big names that you have behind you that have contributed guitars and things like that. That's truly amazing. And I'm sort of answering the question I'm going to ask Lucie. Again, what was it that drew you to not just, you're heartbreaking when you see them. There's a lot of places that say they do things. So what was it that you knew that this was something you wanted to support?
It was Harlan. It was Harlan Bowl, because if someone you know and you trust, and he's never, sent me down a wrong road, it's never done anything where I said, oh God, why did you get me involved in that? That's never happened. So it was truly, that's networking. If you know a friend who knows a friend, and he said, this is a terrific organization. Let me send you some information on it. And if it moves you, if it touches you in any way, I can tell you they do great work. Well, that's all I really need to know. I mean, this thing, when I just said I just went to Africa, we're opening a scholarship for these kids who can't afford to go to this one little school in this tiny little town, and their parents, they walk to school. Like, they're 4 years old. They walk on the streets on these crazy roads with the animals. You can't even believe the kind of poverty that they have. And how do you start taking care of them unless there's at least one person you can trust, right? One person who can open the bank account, one person who can make sure that the kids are actually getting the money that you're doing. And so I trusted Harlan, and he trusted Jeffrey. And so here I am. I believe in what they're doing, and they've been doing it a long time, and they're making a difference. And it's the kind of thing that I like doing, just like I liked opening that little school, because there's only a few of us who are actually supporting these kids. I mean, we're very hands-on, and he's working in a small area, and you can keep an eye on it, and it's doable. It doesn't get so big that you lose track of what you're involved in. And that kind of thing I appreciate. Like I said, think globally, but act locally. It's local.
Mm-hmm.
You can check up on it,
Right. For sure. Now, what is the difficulty right now in, so why did you move to advocacy in terms of, you used to have just an arts and music program? And I know the answer to this. I'm trying to set you up, because I think that people, when it comes to homelessness, as you mentioned, Lucie, it's this giant thing. You start thinking about it, and it's just like, people are trying to find the solution, and it's just so overwhelming. So what bothers me is when I see people click their tongues or shake their heads, homeless, and all that.
Yeah.
And then there's not enough compassion to do anything. Or if there's some compassion, what do I do? Like, bring people in from the street into my home? I know someone who they feel helpless, but they do bring water. So anytime they see a homeless person, they give them a bottle of water.
You can do. Teddy Roosevelt once said, "You do what you can with what you have, with where you are." And I think that's really great advice. You do what you can with what you have, with where you are. And doing that, I actually took a homeless person into an empty condo that I had for a while before I put furniture in it. And it was so hot outside, people were dying in the streets in Palm Springs. And this guy was pouring water over his head. And I said, "Excuse me, do you want to take a shower and just be in air conditioning for a night?" And I thought he could kill me on the way to the apartment, right? I don't know, but I took a shot. I believed in. I went with my gut. So you can do stuff like that. I mean, it's not something you could do every day, maybe, but you do what you can with what you have. I had a place. I thought, if he runs away or there's nothing to steal, it's empty. It's like, how bad could it be, And he was so grateful. His name was Peter, and he left me a little note and said how grateful he was. And he only stayed one night. He didn't. I said, "You can stay a week if you want. No one's here." He stayed one night, and he left me a lovely note and shut the door and put the key under the rock that I told him to put it under. So it's, it's kind of wonderful to move out there and just connect. Only connect. Isn't that what they say,
Yeah.
And Mother Teresa, she often said, if I hadn't stopped for that one man, if I hadn't stopped for that first one, I never would have done all the things I did. I had to start somewhere.
Yeah. Great
points I'd like to bring up. Firstly, most of these youth are not homeless by choice. They don't want to be homeless. So that's very people understand. Their parents are so that they have to get out of the house. It's not safe for them, number one. Number two, you talked about trust quite a bit. And these kids don't trust anybody. I think the reason that we have been so successful is because when they're coming to us now, they actually contact us that they need help. Instead of us going to them now because of the posters, they're actually coming to us and saying, I want to get a laptop. I want to get a cell phone. I want help. Can you help me? And so we carry our phone 24/7. In the morning, we have one of 3 staff that takes the phone at all times. That's a different thing, because then they realize, hey, we really are there to help them. And so once they trust you, they want to get help, and they're motivated to hopefully have a better life than what they have. And that's why we've been blessed to have so many youth that have succeeded in our program.
Absolutely. Do you mind if I show that little video of Doors of Change? I think that's a really helpful explanation. Let me see if I can get this to play. Here we go.
The thing that made me leave home when I was 12 that was so bad was my new stepfather. He started to abuse me physically, emotionally, mentally, would call me names, drag me by my hair, hit me, kick me. He was basically torturing me.
On the streets is quite difficult, near impossible to trust people, really, because they were always looking out for themselves. I had to do the same, look out for myself.
The longest time period I didn't eat for was probably like 3 days.
I was chain smoking cigarettes for warmth. I figured the heat from the smoke, would keep me warm for the night.
I slept in a lot of crazy places. I would sleep like on park benches in parks. I slept on the beach a lot. I eventually had a tent. Well, there was one night I slept in a dumpster on top of a piece of cardboard. Thankfully, it wasn't trash day.
I was able to sleep in front of anybody, no matter what. It was like, hey, if they kill me, they kill me. If they would try to rob me, they rob me. It's like, that's just what it was.
I would perform in the streets to get some money. I would just do tricks with a soccer ball.
The toughest thing about being homeless is the loss of hope and trying to hold on to that.
I first heard of Doors of Change through outreach. Jeff was walking around doing outreach.
We're going on outreach, which we've done now for 18 years, twice a week, trying to find homeless kids between the age primarily of 16 to 25. When we find them, we ask them if they'd like to come to a music and arts program. They get free music lessons, free art, free dinners, free food, free clothes, case management, whatever they would like. We've seen now over 7,300 visits now in 6 years.
The staff of Doors of Change are kind. They're always in a great mood. They're always asking to help anyway. It's really nice. It feels like a family.
Doors of Change has helped me because I was homeless at 17 because my biological dad got involved and he punched me in the face repeatedly. And now I'm about to graduate from college, computer engineering. Homeless, degree. Pretty clear line.
It's really important that people that are able to donate to Doors of Change can provide the financial support that we need to continue to provide opportunities for these kids, whether it be music instruments, referrals, life skills, anything that they need help with. They need a lot of support. And even if it's just $5, I mean, really anything can help these kids. And the bigger the donation, the more children are going to end up with opportunities like me that they can make something of themselves and make an impact in this world. And that's why it's so important that we have donors. They really make the whole organization run.
Oof. You can't watch that without crying. I don't know. That just gets me every time.
Yeah, it got me again. And let's see if there we go. Dang, I just got to do this. I gave it to you last time, but I got to give it to you again. And I've never given it to you, Lucie. Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award goes to Jeffrey again and Lucie Arnaz.
I love that. Thank you.
And I'm not supposed to cry because of the eye surgery.
Oh no, is that what they said? Probably good. It's washing it. It's good.
No, I never apologize for crying because tears are the disinfectant that keep our hearts soft. So thank you for my cleansing today. And really, Jeffrey, I mean, I have a lot of people because I'm a solutions show. So I bring people on, who are doing something. But I have to say, I'm so proud to be, a supporter of Doors of Change because truly you do make such a difference. Salvation Army, you and Long Beach Rescue Mission are the three organizations that I have actually seen with my own eyes a progression of help that isn't about, let's make a lot of money and then it goes to the I see the salaries when they publish the CEO of some of these nonprofits, and it's like, are you kidding me? Like, don't tell me that you're really making a difference. If you're making that much money, you're not really making a difference. Because so thank you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
And I've got some good news for you, ladies. So who you saw in there, the African American that spoke, he now has a young child, Theo, and he just got a raise, so he's making over $100,000 as an engineer, and he is just doing so great. And Justine, who spoke, is graduating law school in 30 days.
Oh my gosh. That's so wonderful.
Hold on.
I love that. I love that.
So the next show we do for Doors of Change, you're going to bring those two individuals on, Jeffrey. Okay.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So how do people support Doors of Change? I mean, that's obviously the call to action to start with. And are there any plans for another benefit?
Yes. Well, number one, yes, there are plans for another benefit. I'm actually been the last 2 months negotiating for headliners. So we will have a headliner hopefully within a month, and it'll be at the end of the summer probably. But the reason, as far as, people say I'm touched by this, what can I do to help? Because of the economy, some people are not doing well, and it's difficult for a lot of people. We started a thing called the California Angel gave permission to trademark the Angel. So for $11 a month at a minimum.
Okay, say that again. How much a month?
A minimum of $11 a month or more. Oh. If you can do $50, $20, whatever you can do, but
minimum of 11. Yeah,
that's nothing. That's $11 a month is one Starbucks a month, right? So, and what is it called again? It cut out just a bit. Angel
Team. You join our Angel Team.
Angel Team. Okay.
Yeah.
And it is actually part of the Angels?
No. They gave it to trademark the name. So that name is ours now. We've trademarked Angel Team.
Nice.
And you go to doorsofchange.org, Doors Girl, and make a donation of $11 or more per month, because the recurring monthly thing really helps us a lot. That people giving us monthly money, and makes a big difference. So whatever anybody can afford, we appreciate you'll be on our team.
Great. I'm going to pull up the website right now. And this is
also, while you're pulling it up, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
I'm just curious. I saw those wonderful things that you give away to the kids, Jeff. The shoes and the books and the backpacks and the stuff like that. Can people donate, like ship you stuff if they don't live in the area? Do you still accept things from other people, or would you prefer just monetary donations so that you can buy things yourself? How do you like that to do that?
That's a great question, Lucy. Up until COVID, we loved it. Now, since COVID, we've got so much clothes and shoes. We have a whole huge, a storage thing that has them, so we don't need them. But that's what we need, because we're growing so much. We just need to hire another full-time.
You need another case manager? Is that what you said?
Yeah, we just hired a second one.
Okay. All right. So basically you need salary money. You need money to pay for the things that you have to do.
Yes.
Yeah. And the good thing is that those monthly donations, if they're 5 or if they're 50 or 100, it's something you can depend on, right? Because they said they're going to send it, and then you can kind of have a budget you can work with. That's what I've found.
Yeah. And it even works better than that, because we have to go to our website.
You're breaking up, Jeff. You're breaking up a little bit. I don't know what you're leaning into, but you're breaking up a little bit.
Go to our website. On the website, it'll have a monthly donation. So the credit card will be on file. You don't have to even think about it.
Right.
Oh my God. I just saw Billy Crystal's signed book.
Yep.
Billy Joel signs Roland keyboard. I knew about that one. That's incredible. Chris Isaac.
Auction items? Is that what this is? They're for sale?
On sale right now. People can go to the website and buy the memorabilia.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So Bruce Springsteen, Born to Run. It's sold. Never mind. Jerry Seinfeld, signed photos. 5,400. Jewel signed guitar. Wow. So on the top right is the Join Angel team. Can you see my cursor? It's up at the top here. So I'm just showing people. This is the website. Can you see it?
No, but
no.
I can't.
Okay. So Boss Gags.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah.
So let's see. If I press this, what's going to come up? Here we go. About Homeless Youth Angel Team, $11, $36.72. One time or recurring. I would suggest recurring because it gives the organization a financial base if they want to have some loan action or anything like that. So yeah, that's awesome. But man, that's awesome. Graham Nash.
How'd you get this connection with all these rock and rollers and famous people, Jeffrey?
Buddy Guy.
Billy Joel was the first angel, and then Elton John was the second angel. And once they came on, it really gave credibility that we were okay. We've been blessed this month alone. Steve Martin signed me 2 banjos. John Mellencamp signed 2 guitars. Who else?
That's not cheap. You know, these guys spend a lot of money on that stuff, and they give them to you. Sign them and give them away is kind of amazing.
It is amazing. It's wonderful. Yeah. I actually got a picture with the guitar that was signed by Three Dog Night the night that we did that concert. I felt pretty special.
That's wonderful. Well,
yeah. So
how does it feel knowing that the concert that you went to generated enough money that we funded 349 youth in housing the following year?
Isn't that great?
It's only because you said you loved it, Lucy. And honestly, it's the only sound effect I have because we have to celebrate it. Because like you, and I was so happy to hear you talk about that. You know, you think about something and then that's law of attraction.
That's
and I don't know if you're a
Tell
big
the universe what you want and be specific. I always say.
Exactly. I'm a big Abraham Hicks law of attraction kind of person. And I totally believe that too. We set the intention and the universe is always conspiring for us, never against us. Friendly universe. So I think that level of the thing that I love about Jeffrey is, I don't know if you can see, I mean, we were so frustrated with you earlier because you just couldn't get on again. And it was that, but Jeffrey has that natural, it's going to be okay. Part of you. And I just wanted to point that out. And I think that's the reason too, that it is doing all that it's doing. And I wish you all the success again, as you continue to do this, that, I don't know anyone, if you have ever said, I wish I could do something with the homeless, this is what you can do at $11 a month. That's all you need to do. And then you're going to meet Lucy and I and Harlan. That was so fun when I was dancing with Harlan because he was my date for the last thing. And we had such a good time. So keep it tuned. I'm going to purchase a ticket like I did last year to give away as my Asian Oprah giveaway for the show to the benefit concert, whatever it's going to be. And I know it's going to be great. But in the meantime, please go to doorsofchange.org, doorsofchange.org, and Angel Team, buy something. You know, now's the time. Some people are getting some money back from the government. If you haven't heard of that program, if you have employees, I'm forgetting that amnesia, they said for the anesthetic is 24 hours. It's kicking in. But I'll remember to mention it on the show later. But please do go and buy one of those. If you're a musician, weekend musician, those are beautiful pieces to support as well.
Indeed.
Can I mention one thing? That our that program director has won Woman of the Year.
Okay, we're going to have to go back. Can you start again? And this time, let's see. I want to do something different. Let me remove you and put you back in and see if that doesn't do something. Okay, go ahead.
So I just want to share that we have an amazing team. And our program director, Joanne Newgard, won Woman of the Year in 2002 from the San Diego Magazine, which is a prestigious honor. She had 250 people that were in that category, and she won because of the work she does with homeless youth with Doors of Change. So Joanne Newgard is an amazing leader in our organization.
And she was on my show last time with you. And so we will have to have her on when I bring those two individuals and give you a break so that we'll share the love for sure. So what can we do in our homes and personally? Let's switch this around a bit, so that we can affect where it starts.
I would say that people that want to help, and there's a lot of elderly that are homeless, but they will see youth also. Keep in your car bottles of water and maybe apples. So someone, instead of giving them a quarter or whatever, give them an apple. Give them a bottle of water because they need the water. They're too dehydrated. So that's something that everybody can do, is have water and apples in their car, and then you're making them happy and you're helping someone.
I might suggest that if you live in a climate like we do in Palm Springs, that you don't just leave those bottles in the car, because if they get too hot, you can't give them to anybody because they become poisonous and cancer causing. But if you can grab a few bottles on the way, keep some in your house somewhere and take them with you in a bag, and then take them out of the car when you go back home so that you can still have the water be good. But that's a great idea. That's a great idea. And yeah, remember when they used to say we can't give fresh fruit at Halloween to anybody because they were afraid like somebody would poison the fruit or put, right, razor blades in it. So that would make me nervous about giving, to just other people might not take it, because they don't know who we are. Maybe we're somebody who hates homeless people, but I hear what you're saying. And maybe if you get like a small bag from the market and it's full of fresh fruit or something, but that's the right idea. Take something with you and give it out. I can't imagine anybody saying, no, thanks, I'm fine.
Yeah. Right? Now, yes. And you triggered great ideas, both of you. The thing that I would like people to do is to drop the BS, the belief system that one, they're lazy. That's why they're on the streets. That's the first one. Number two, that, this is just, people are doing this because they don't want to be bothered to get a job. That's another BS, a belief system that hurts and is not true. And three, that it is up to the government or someone else to do something about this. It's not my problem. That's bullshit-talky. This is all of our problem. It's all of our opportunity to open our hearts and our wallets and our mind that we are all connected. So if we've got some people who are in a bad place, we are all a reflection of where everyone is. So that's my
and we don't know how lucky we are. We think, oh, I don't really have enough. Like I really can't give anything to them. Like I said, I just came back from Africa, from Kenya. Trust me, we have enough. You have enough. And the people who don't have enough over there are helping each other, because the little nothing that they have, they split it in half and they give it to the other person next door who doesn't have as much of a half as they have. And you realize how short life is and what's it all about anyway. Surrounding yourself. I came home to my nice house here and I thought, wow, how dare I ever have a bad day or, look at stuff and I can't stand this. Oh, that's, and look, I have chairs. I have heat, I have water, you know? And when you don't have anything, or you're put out onto the street against, you know, your wishes, you find out really quick what having nothing is like, and how much the other people really have. So, and the last thing I want to say is, when you give for no good reason, you just because you want to, there's no better feeling in the world. So if you want to make yourself feel good, go do that.
Yes.
Great points. Jeffrey, final word?
You know, when you see one of these youth succeed, it gives hope to other homeless kids that it is possible. They can cycle of homelessness, as well as it's possible for donors to say, you know what I mean? I can see that my donation, it really does make a difference. So it really helps everybody. Their success is our success.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And every time I see a kid, I look in their eyes and I say, you can do anything that you put your heart and mind to, no matter what's happening to you now. I'm one of the 7 out of 10 of us who've had childhood trauma, and I had to realize that I don't have to carry that stuff from my past into my present and future. So if you're one of those and you are in a position where you cannot stay at home, there are places like Doors of Change that will help you. I am Dr. Marissa. I want to thank Lucie Arnaz so much for being persistent and making this interview possible. I bless you. How can people find you and your CD and your music and your entertainment schedule?
It's a wonderful thing out there called Google. All you have to do is Google me. You'll find everything there ever was. You'll find way too much.
Great. Lucie Arnaz and Jeffrey Sitcov, doorsofchange.org. Do what you can. Put your heart and your money and your time towards someone and an organization that's really helping. If you would do this with me, I close every show with, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from my living room, wishing you the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow. And that was an amazing interview that I got to have. We pre-recorded so that it was I'm an early show. What can I say? But what a delight. Both of them. You saw Jeffrey Sitcov before. First time with Lucie Arnaz. Actually, second time we've been trying to make that work. And I'm glad that we were super persistent. She was super kind after the interview and said that I was a bright light and that I was better than Oprah. Don't say that too loud. But I'm so delighted that I got to meet Lucie Arnaz, daughter of the couple that really put laughter into so many homes as Lucie Arnaz. I Love Lucie and Desi Arnaz's daughter. Lucie Arnaz, she really is a powerhouse, and I'm glad that I got to spend a little time with her. And of course, it's like I'm so grateful. That was show 888, 565 consecutive weeks on the air. It's coming up on 10 years, May 1st. May 1st, 2012 is when I started. And thank you so much for your continued support and continued. I get all kinds of nice emojis. If you haven't already free subscribed on my YouTube channel, that's where all of the shows are housed that you can not only just listen to, but you can actually watch and see the amazing guests that I have on, of course, including the ones that you just saw. And let's see, what else do I want to tell you? Yesterday, if you missed me getting my Lifetime Achievement Award, please go watch that one. That is Dr. John Carter. And I still have one book left. Go to drmarissa.life if you would like a copy of Dr. John's book. And that is it for today. We're going to have a great show tomorrow. Don't forget, it's all about balance, peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever.